What's going on, people? What's going on? Good evening. Good evening. It's about 10:51 over here on the West Coast. It's your boy Danny Glover. Welcome to the Magnet Podcast. Give yourselves a hand for joining me. Thank you very much. We got something good kicking off for y'all today. We're going to be working on attracting the things we want in this world and bringing the things we dream about to reality. That's the goal, right? The goal is to create these dreams and actualize them. So, what other way to kick off our wonderful podcast by reviewing a uh, law of attraction video, right? First time I'm watching this. I am learning this. I have minimal knowledge. I know some things, but always open to learn. So what I'm gonna do some reviews, and we're gonna learn together. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get this information. We're gonna create the reality that we want, that we dream about, the kingdom that we deserve. Um, that's what it's all about. So let's kick this off. I'm gonna leave the creator of the video in the bottom of the description, and be sure to follow, what I'm saying? Be sure to like, subscribe, um, comment. I would love to hear your opinions. If you have anything you think that we should review next time, shoot it my way. Um, yeah, let's get it cracking. Hope y'all enjoy.
It's a law of attraction.
The law of attraction.
Law of attraction.
Law of attraction.
And the law of attraction.
It's fucking real, man. Manifesting is real.
Understand this. If you can see it, you don't have to know how to get it. Your life will change.
Constant repetition carries conviction.
How do you predict these? If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen.
Fear, you attract what you feel, what you are, what you attract. What's on your mind? Yes,
it's like
exactly.
the law of physics. I don't know how anybody can disagree with that. It's just, ask any physicist, they'll tell you that it's true. Yeah.
Albert Einstein.
And you know what I'm saying? It's an amazing thing to be able to have that power for the words that we speak to attract and pull in the things that we want. If we're positive enough, if we are optimistic enough, we get things that we dream about. I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but as a kid, you've wanted things so bad and you actually got them, right? And it's about that want, that drive, that manifestation that they're talking about. So I think this is going to be a very interesting video. I see they had Conor McGregor. Watched a few of his fights. He's a big talker, but at the same time, he may know some things because he's got some incredible stories and has been in some incredible rooms with some incredible people. And that takes a lot more than just who you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of drive and dreaming. So let's continue on.
God bless him. He sure had his act put together, didn't he? He said everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics.
You know, folks, I'll admit it, my life is going really, really well. Many of my dreams have come true. You have to understand, you are a magnet. Whatever you are, that's what you draw to you. If you're negative, you're going to draw negativity. You're positive, you draw positive. You're a kind person, more people are kind to you. So you're like a magnet, and you got to understand something about like attracts like. If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
Being smart from the beginning, up here, will create whatever the fuck you want here.
When you figure out who you are and what you want to do and you devote your life to it like a maniac, like you're all in on this thing, and you manifest, most of these people end up, you know, doing what they say they're going to do and being who they say they're going to become. It's real. And there's no excuses. There's no fucking days off. There's no, you know, not willing to grind and, you know, everybody's against me and this didn't happen for me because of this and that and all this whining and you know, pussy ass bullshit that a lot of people do these days. There's these people who dive in and they're hardcore and they're focused and they know what they want, they know who they are, and they lay out these short-term goals and this roadmap on how to get there. Most of those people make it.
Nowadays, everybody's got to go to shrinks and counselors and go on Sally Jesse Raphael and talk about their problems. Whatever happened to Gary Cooper, the strong, silent type? That was an American.
We're all in a battle with our own brains. That's
all
life.
Of us.
That's all.
You see, I am a type of person who I'm very solitary, especially when I'm going through some things. But I've learned that you got to use the energy. It's all about energy. Something like what they were saying, where we're magnets, or we're about attracting the things that we want and who we want to be, the interactions that we create is from our attractions. And it's a very powerful thing to be able to pull the people that can push you forward. So when you're going through negative things, it's a very powerful tool if you could learn to use that negative energy to push you to do positive things. It's one of those things that's easier said than done, but at the same time, it's incredible what you can do when you feel like you're in your lowest moments. And a person like me, I've gone through a lot of things in my life. Got a lot of stories for you on this podcast. You'll hear some crazy things, but nothing has ever kept me down so much that I couldn't get up. So, and I always contribute that to the people around me that, you know, I've attracted through my journey. I've been blessed enough to have people that see the good in me and they can pull that out of me as well. So, yeah, it's an incredible thing to, again, attract the people that can take you to better places and make you think of ideas that you never thought that you could have, and get you to physically accomplish things that you never thought were capable. And yeah, so it's an incredible thing to know that we all have this power. So yeah, let's continue on.
It's the most powerful thing in the world, is your own brain. It can work for you or against you. So when I was 297, and I was all fat and out of shape, and I couldn't run a quarter mile, and I was drinking milkshakes and eating boxes of donuts, I visualized, man, how would it feel? There was 22 guys that graduated. I watched this segment on TV about these guys going through Navy SEAL training. I saw these guys just quitting. But at the very end, it says 22 guys. This commanding officer's up there, and he gives this great speech. I was like, man, I wonder. So I started visualizing me being the 23rd guy in these dress whites, sitting there with these guys, getting that Navy SEAL, graduating this Navy SEAL training. I was like, God. So I put myself there. I was like, man, that's an amazing feeling. I put myself there at 297, not even able to do anything that these great men were doing. I said, man, if I could feel that, that would change my life.
My brother and I used to sit around and talk about what could be if only we managed to get it out. How it would feel to have this car, how it would feel to be in this place, how it would feel to be famous and internationally renowned, how it would feel to go to Saint-Tropez and live on a yacht, how it would feel to be able to fly on private planes, how it would feel to not have to worry about food anymore. My brother and I used to imagine for hours. We used to talk about it. We believed in this version of reality where we somehow made it. You lack imagination. You don't want it enough to talk about it and imagine over the temporary dopamine and entertainment you can achieve.
Kevin, there's nothing else.
I'm a type of person who have big dreams, you know what I'm saying? What are the type of things that y'all dream about? You should leave some comments below. What are some of the things that you dream to attain? For me, for example, you know, financially uh, responsible and financially free. That's the dream, you know what I'm saying? Just be able to do things my family's never been able to do. Um, that's one of the dreams, of course. That's probably most common dream that most people have. But also it's just me being around my family. I have a dream that I actually have property, and all my family is able to come to one place and kind of do things like or when I was younger, to get together and fellowship and enjoy each other's company and catch up on good and bad times and uh, yeah. So that's one of my dreams. So what's something you got? Let me know in the comments.
Who are you? Maybe it was your time to lose. You didn't think so. Lose? I don't lose! I win! I win!
I'm sure you're probably all thinking in your head, this guy is talking absolute dribble. He's not gonna do what he says he's gonna do. You're probably all sitting there thinking that. But now here we are again, and I done what I said I was gonna do. I feed off this. I love this stuff. This is what gives me energy. Saying I'm gonna do something. Putting it out there for the world to see, and then going out and doing it. There's no better feeling in the world than that. And it's as easy as that. Say what you're gonna do, and go and do it.
You lived up to your promise to be the first person to knock out Max Holloway. Just how does it feel knowing, another prediction you forecasted came to life?
I call this because I knew it. It's a surprise for a lot of people, but for me, it's like I knew it. I said it and I did it.
Different between me and you, it's that you need to see to believe. I first of all believe and then I see.
I always dreamed as a kid that, it was possible to score 80 or 90 or 100. I always just had a dream. Like sometimes you lay down in bed and you visualize things and you just kind of, that's at least how I would go to sleep. I'd lay down, I'd imagine playing for the Lakers, and I'd imagine what the uniforms look like. I'd imagine where we'd be playing and, the smell of the arena and all sorts of stuff. And I would see myself, getting hot, and score 10 straight points. And then
I started visualizing at like 13, 14, just so everything around me was taken care of when I got to a meet, so I could be completely relaxed. So when I put my headphones on, all I'm thinking about is the music. I get to go up and just do what I practiced to do. All of those countless hours of staring at the black line at the bottom of the pool, that was for this moment. So I just never really thought when I got behind the block and let everything do what was supposed to happen. If I didn't get the results that I wanted, then I would just go back to the drawing board.
A lot of times people...
And this is cool too because it's showing off some incredible athletes that we've had the pleasure to see in this world, like Michael Phelps, Kobe, like I said, Conor McGregor. We all know this guy. It's cool because being able to say you're gonna do something is one thing. A lot of us aren't as physically capable as these guys, but there's another way I know. If you write things down as well, it's another great way of putting it out into the universe and manifesting that thing to come true. It's just something about some people typing on a computer, but I'm a old school type of give me a pen, paper, pencil, some paper. I need to write that down. And a lot of times these things do actually come true, or I get an opportunity to actualize the dream. If I'm prepared or not, that's another story. But yeah, so it's a great technique to consider writing it down. Not just saying it, writing it down is gonna also put that concrete into the universe. All right, let's keep going.
Certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction, and it will become reality.
The biggest life lesson that I've learned is the power of the mind, and just how important it is to look at yourself at a high regard and to believe in yourself. I think in order to to paint a bright future for yourself, you have to be able to see it in your mind. You have to believe in it, and the more you believe in it, the more your world will start to change, and the more you'll just start to, see your beliefs come to pass. So, to answer your question, just self-belief.
Everything is possible in your life when you believe. When you believe, everything is possible.
Nothing external can defeat the internal. The only thing that can take someone down or break you down is internal. Nothing external is strong enough. It's just about making sure your internal dialogue and your internal belief in yourself is strong enough that it can withstand the external. Yes. The external is there. Yes. You've got to accept it. You've got to embrace it. You've got to understand it and be aware of it. But don't let it seep into your internal dialogue.
Yeah. Tired is only in the mind. You tell yourself you're tired, you're gonna be tired. I don't get tired.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it.
I always knew so. I knew I wasn't going to be regular. I just knew like I was going to be great at something. I didn't know what it was, but I knew I was going to be great at something. I just knew greatness and madness are next door neighbors, and they just borrow each other's sugar once in a while. Use the story of me when I used to drive this beat up Honda, and I'd shift the gear stick and I'd just do this. You do this. It was madness. It was me preparing for having a sports car, paddle shifts.
Around 2010.
Are you one of those people that believe that you're meant for greatness? Like, you feel it in your gut, like, I know that I'm meant to do more. I know that I have purpose here. I know that there's a plan for me. I know that people need me. I'm one of those people. I feel like that. I feel that a lot. I gotta find that path, find that purpose. I'm grinding every day to live into that righteousness, into that, that feeling. I can be safe and know that I'm at that right place and in my purpose. I know there's a lot of people that feel like that too. I'm not the only one.
2011, I went through this huge spiritual thing where I became obsessed with the power of the mind, and I got into it deep, like really deep, just meditation, visualization, and just realizing how powerful our minds actually are, like how we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief. So I took myself from being very average-minded to actually believing that I was the shit, and believing that I could be the shit, and that I could be the GOAT and be the greatest and never lose into.
And my personal question to you is, why not you? You've got the brains, you can make decisions, you can study the plan, you can change your life.
I've manifested things that I'm just like, I still shock myself. When you have the vision and you're able to manifest, but then you also put the work in, magic happens, man. Magic, that's where the magic is.
I've always had visions of better. I've always visualized better, and in times of struggle, like driving down in a banger of a car that I had to push start, I'd be still driving a soft top Bentley around beautiful California in my head, and lo and behold, now I am driving a beautiful soft top Bentley around California.
I mean, my life is good, in my head my life was always good, even when it probably wasn't, you know what I mean, and so I just keep that in my head, feel like a millionaire walking around, even though, you know what I mean, so.
I told you I manifested this. I manifested this.
Obviously, you knew somewhere inside yourself that you were destined to be famous, because I think it's really a marvelous thing, that visualization thing you did. Do you all read about this or hear this? That you used to go up on Mulholland Drive and park
every night
and visualize seeing yourself as...
Years ago, and it's an interesting story, because 4 years ago, I used to go up to Mulholland Drive and I used to say, I had this and that and this. Oh, it's all good and it's coming to me, And I actually wrote myself a check, and this is for real. This is not a joke. This is for real. I wrote myself a check for $10 million per picture. This is by Thanksgiving 1995. Yeah, I would visualize.
This is when you were broke and poor.
Right, having directors interested in me and people that I respected, saying, I like your work or whatever that is, and I would visualize things coming to me that I wanted or whatever.
This was in like 1987, 85,
yeah. And
didn't
I
you...
had nothing at that time, so it was like, but it just made me feel better. It made me, at that time, all it really was for me was kind of making me feel better. I would drive home and think, well, I do have these things, and they're out there. I just don't have a hold of them yet, but they're out there.
Start from the beginning, up here.
And the thing about Jim Carrey, if you don't know, he got some great motivational stuff. And the smarter people in our society, they seem to all know this, that if you have this dream and you manifest it enough, it's not no one night, I'm going to go to bed and wish for this, and then, weeks later it's going to happen. No, this is a grind. This is continuous. This is every day. I'm picturing this in my mind. I want this to happen. Every day I'm thinking about it. I'm visualizing it. I'm right. You see, he wrote something down actually for the future that came true for him. A lot of people do that, where they write as a kid what they're going to do when they get older, in sports or movie stars and different things like that. And you see it comes true for them, and that's something that they were persistent on dreaming about, and it manifested and came true. So we have to stay consistent with the dream. We can't switch it up. We got to be specific about what we want. You see, he had a specific dollar amount that he wrote down. So it's not nothing that we can be broad about, because it's one of the things. Be careful what you wish for. You can ask for something. I want somebody. I want to be with somebody. But at the same time, God may place somebody there. Because somebody can just be there, but is it going to be the right person for you? Is it going to be someone that makes you happy? Is it going to be someone that drives you to be a better person? Is it going to be somebody that you can see yourself with for a long time? Different things that you got to be specific for in your manifestation. So, it's incredible, though, because you get to see this from celebrities, people who actually got the funds, got the receipts. Again, who is this guy? Where is he at?
We'll create whatever the fuck you want here. It's not valuing today, it's investing today for tomorrow's betterment. And that's what we're fucking doing here. Smart. Mindset first. Mind controls this shit. If we don't know what the fuck we're doing, and we're just going through it because this person's doing a ball face, and we're just going through the motions, you're always gonna end up fucking average and middle of the heat. Unremembered. Stop that shit. I live in a maintenance phase, guys. So don't get these confused. If you're going to a business meeting, you put a fucking suit on. You don't put a suit on to go to the beach. You adjust to situations. Different diet regimes produce different results. Therefore, you adjust to that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So don't say, Greg says 1 meal a day, but then in the fucking video blog, he's saying, 7 to 8 meals a day. I don't quite understand it. That's because you're a fucking idiot. That's because you're looking for an excuse in life for why you haven't achieved anything.
In leadership training, here's what we learned. If the why is powerful, the how is easy. But if the why isn't strong, if your goals aren't powerful, if the vision isn't clear, the old prophet said, without a vision we die, without a vision we perish, without a dream we're nothing.
It doesn't need to be a crazy amount of time. I mean, 5 minutes is long enough. That's a long time to be. I mean, that's a round. You ever grapple around and 2 minutes goes by, you look up at the clock and there's 3 minutes left. You can't believe it. Holy cow. 5 minutes is a long time because you can get a lot done mentally because visualization knows no time. There's not a clock ticking, there's things happening. After I started doing it, I mean, it was the Patricky Pitbull fight, the knockout, where that was the first time that I had really hit that breakthrough where I walked into the cage. I mean, Joe, I hated fighting. I didn't really like it that much because I wasn't myself. I wasn't present. I was literally a caged animal, and I hated the way I felt. I was peeing blood after fights because I was just going so crazy, and I was just and obviously I gained a lot of fans because people loved the way I fight, but they didn't exactly care about my well-being that much. But right. But it wasn't until that fight where I got into the cage and I just started smiling, because I thought, Michael, this is your home. Like, this is your home. Because I had visualized it so much. Because the problem with what we talked about earlier is you only get to compete every 6 months, every 8 months. You don't know what that actually feels like. And you can show up to the venue early and you can walk around it, you can smell the smells, but there's nothing like competing in the cage. There's nothing, you can't recreate it in sparring, you can't recreate it in the gym. The only really place you can recreate it is in your mind. If you just continue to remember. I can remember my last fight like it was yesterday, because I've actually gotten better at the skill of visualization. Because I think that's one thing that happens too, is you sit down and maybe you're listening to this podcast, you're like, okay, I'm going to smell the smells of this, and I'm going to see the sights of this, and then you have a really not great visualization session, and you're like, man, that was stupid, that guy's an idiot, But it really does take a second. It really does take actual practice to see and smell and hear and feel.
And I know how tough it is some days to look with hope and confidence on the months and years ahead. But I would like to tell you what I often told you when you were much younger. I like you just the way you are. It's such a good feeling to know that we're lifelong friends.
That was dope. Mr. Rogers did that too, by the way. But yeah, so the thing I take from the video, it's a good video. I like that. It's pretty motivational. But yeah, we got to stay consistent with our dreams. We got to push our dreams to become true. And we got to understand that it's not going to be something that's going to be a brief thought process. It's going to be something that we're going to have to think about consistently. We're going to have to think about passionately. Like I said, people going to sleep every night. That Kobe said every night he would sleep and dream about it. Jim Carrey said every day he would go drive and sit on that hill. Even that last dude, Michael, he was talking about you having to learn to visualize, and it takes time to practice to understand and about living in the moment and understanding your thoughts well enough and picking what's right for how you feel and that intuition to move forward to get you to that dream. So it all takes practice, it all takes work. Nothing's easy that's worth it in this world. So just be willing and mentally prepared to know that you can't give up. You got to stay fighting even when it's the darkest times. It's for a reason. Your struggle may bless others. You never know. All you do know is that you got dreams, and those dreams are capable of coming true if you want them to. So I'm going to take off on this one. Thank you for watching the video. Again, be sure to subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell, for the next video. We're going to be doing these quite often. We're going to be getting some good motivational videos out there. We got to see this. We got to learn this stuff. You know what I'm saying? We all have the capability of attracting and building our bodies and our minds to what we want them to be. Mind, body, spirit. Let's get it. All right. Thank you for watching the Magnet Podcast. Y'all take care.